Hello, hello, hello. Morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, geographically located. Hope your day is going at least okay. Becco, Connor, Harand, hello, hello, hello. Julian, hello. Exciting news. I think everything we did last stream was wrong. Which is exciting. Daz, hello. Wait for a few people to roll in, and then we'll go into what I've since discovered. Temperature's fine, don't you worry. It is okay. I'm not going to revert it, I'm just going to power on through. Dine, hello. Richard, hello. So I think I mentioned this last time, I don't do much planning for these streams. I kind of, when I started, and I didn't really know what I was doing, well, I still don't know what I was doing, but when I really didn't know what I was doing, maybe had a bit of a thought before each stream, what I might do. Now, just sharp and figure it out. I can normally talk for 2 hours about something. So, but obviously, like, there's a certain voyage of discovery we must all go on as part of this to figure things out. So let's bring up a code window. And again, I don't do too much, but I was kind of curious. I wasn't particularly happy with the outcome of last stream. I'm not saying it was a bad stream. I enjoyed it. People showed up. We talked C++. We all had a grand time. But like, it's always nice to have achieved something at the end of that, and we hadn't really achieved anything. And there was a lot of questions left around about like how any of this was going to work. So let's get up the physics system. So we were using this narrow phase query. So the narrow phase, so there's in physics engines there is these concepts called the broad phase and the narrow phase, and they are for collision detection and then ultimately for resolution. But the idea is that you have a broad phase which uses some sort of acceleration structure like a quad tree or a BSP or something like that, and that is quick to, like, it's cheap to do a best guess estimation of two things are overlapping. You might get false positives, so it might say two things are overlapping when they are not, but you shouldn't get false negatives. If it says it's not overlapping, they will not be overlapping. And then you use the broad phase to kind of narrow down a list of candidate intersections, collisions, whatever you want to call it. And the narrow phase then goes through and does the actual the proper maths, the expensive bit. But it is cheaper to do because you've already culled a lot of stuff in the broad phase. So we go into the physics system, we're like, oh, I want to do a narrow phase query, which apparently allegedly internally does the broad phase first, blah, blah, blah. We create this collector, and then we're like, oh, okay, I want to collide a shape. And I give it a shape and a transform, and then, like, but you don't give it anything else. And so the theory was, oh, this should tell you if any other shape it's colliding with. But then the thing about this quite a lot, and like, how does it know what those other shapes are? And they already come from the physics simulation. So this only really works. My understanding is this only works if you're doing a full rigid body simulation, which we're not, because we don't want to simulate physics at this point. We literally just want to do collision detection. So this is the right answer for the wrong problem, effectively. Now, I was on a little, as one does, a little peruse of the Jolt source code. I found this primitive here, this transformed shape .h. I'm like, a transformed shape, you say? Color me intrigued. A temporary data structure that contains a shape and a transform. So this solves part of the problem we were having before. It's like the shape is just like effectively model space. It just defines like a box and the dimensions of the box, but not its position and orientation in the world. Which again started to lead me to think that what we were doing was incorrect. So this is a temporary data structure, and I think temporary, from my understanding, means it's kind of cheap to construct. It's non-owning. You can just sort of throw a transform shape around a bunch of transforms and a shape pointer. Okay, and then I'm really enjoying this indenting. This is nice. Okay, Brennan became a member on YouTube. Thanks very much appreciated. Glad you're here. Don't forget to hop over to Discord where there's lots of people and a members only area as well. Yeah, I mean, like the widest of tabs. It is tabs, isn't it? Anyway, this is by the by. This caught my eye. Go away, GitHub. Collide shape. And in this, you give it a shape and a transform. And then this, whatever this collector is. So I think we need to ourselves accumulate all the shapes we wish to do an intersection test with, which isn't too bad because in our level there's not that many objects. And then we wrap that shape in a transform shape. And then we just do collision. I think this is it. I think this is the answer. I think very much I think this is what we want. So yeah. Oh, I had Julian resubbed for 3 months on Twitch. Thank you very much. So yeah, I think this is today's task, journey, voyage of discovery, if you will, is to plumb this in and see where we get to, and then I think we will just accumulate the shapes ourselves and do the intersection test. What's annoying for me in this API is that you cannot give it another transform shape. I have to still give it a transform and a scale different to the transform, question mark. I kind of feel like I should be able to just wrap all the shapes in a transform shape and then just intersect them, but whatever, we'll do the work ourselves. So this kind of basically means this query collision is going away today. I'm going to bin it, I'm going to sack it off. And then this, don't we have like a simple collision collector? This is going to move in somewhere else. Because if we go to a shape, what I think we want now is, I think we can get away without this being virtual. I think we can make this auto intersects const shape const transform. Oh, right. I think we want this because I don't want to wrap transform shape. Our physics engine assumes, like, the way it's separated the concerns is the transform belongs to the rigid body, and I don't want to kind of muddy that by having a shape, a transform shape, and a rigid body where 2/3 of those have transformation information. So we're just going to say, hey, there's a shape here of this size at this space in the world. Does it intersect with you? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to need to pass in two transforms, right? Maybe we do want a little struct that simplifies this. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm really this is as far as I've got. I found a GitHub page that I like the look of, and this is as far as I have sort of traversed. So I guess we have a bit of a hierarchy, like a shape hierarchy, and I want to maintain that. So I don't want to extend shape with transform shape because that sounds complicated. I think we might actually, I think I might go back on literally everything I just said and do source physics, wrap the transform shape ourselves. Maybe. Okay. Literally didn't want any of that. And then have something like class transformed shape, which will, I don't know, have something like a physics shape.h. And then this will have public, private. This will have the auto intersects transformed shape bool. Probably make that const. All right, and then this will have a const shape and a hash include transform.h transform. Right, okay, something like that. Okay, I don't know, thoughts, feelings? Oh, I'm recording a macro. Should we see what it does? Lame. I think we should always expect ranges. Like, I think that's fair. We should always expect it. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I've deliberately made this a pointer because I want this to be kind of a lightweight copyable class, non-owning class. I don't have to worry about like not being able to assign over or anything. Our contract, our precondition will be that you just do not put in a null pointer, and we'll just expect that when we construct it. So this will then need a transform shape const shape const no transform. I was thinking about taking my value instead of moving it in, but I think in this case it's the equivalent of a copy anyway, so I'll stick with the more idiomatic const ref. Okay, so source physics transform shape CP. Hash include physics slash transform shape, and then we'll do bring these over here. Transformed shape. I'll have one of those, and then we'll I should be in a namespace, shouldn't I? Namespace game, and then auto insects. Steady, stay on target. Transformed shape, bang bang, colon, and then right now we're getting there. I'll have these two. I'll try and keep an eye on the comments because I'm a pro streamer. I get your point. Yeah, so what you're saying is you could pass by ref, then install pass by const ref, and then internally store as a pointer. This is just habit. Like, I just match the type to that. I'm going to put an assert on it anyway, so I guess it means at the site of construction, because I guess this is maybe the closest I can get to a justification for this. I know that the factory method that produces shapes returns pointers. So it kind of keeps that as a consistent, almost like vocabulary type throughout. So that's, I guess, the closest I've got to having a justification for that. Otherwise, you'd have to dereference that into here and then just effectively cast it back to a pointer. But yeah, good question. I don't think that's been asked before. So this should now maybe unused, maybe not. It's impossible to say. Let's be pessimistic. Straight up, no. Okay, so let's find the physics CMake. Oh god, I need to refactor these as well. Don't let me forget. Not now, but at some point. Must refactor. MNOPQRST. Shape the CP, and then let's just see if this does a blend. I'm just going to It's a little puzzle game. We'll get there eventually. If it builds, I will show you what we've got so far. I don't know. I mean, does it require more code? It's just a pointer, right? It's no real different. Like, I'm just going to add the assert before I forget, or the ensure. So hash include util. Is it utils? I can never remember where I put it. Is it utils error.h, or is it just straight up error.h? Expect bang bang. Oh no, it's not a null pointer, isn't it? So shape equals doesn't equal null pointer. Must provide a shape. A sheep? Okay. Why do I rebuild the tests? I mean, CMake should cache it, so it doesn't really have to rebuild it. It might have to relink it, but I really don't think that, in the grand scheme of things, is going to take that much time. I guess the correct answer is that I've kind of just been too lazy to do anything else at this point. An argument. What? What's going on? Okay, that's all. Like, there's a lot of my setup here that could be improved, but when you've only got sort of a couple of hours, a couple of times a week, I'm focusing more on building the code. I can definitely see a future when we get a bit more towards the end, when we want to go back and improve like the build system, because we're going to do release builds, we're going to do packaging, we're going to make sure we can embed the resources. There's a huge amount of like important work to do later, but right now I'm just focusing on just writing as much code as I can in these sort of short 2-hour bursts that we have. But great question, good point. If this was a bigger project with more people, I would invest more time in making the tooling as good as possible, because it makes people's lives a lot easier. I think you can use, what's it in CMake, is it configs? What's the JSON file you can specify? Can't you then sort of say, I only want to build, like, just build the tests and just build the release and stuff like that? Maybe, or have I just fabricated that in my mind? Anyway, what's wrong with this? No, so it's not. I think error is in utils in the open source version of this. Presets, that's it. Yes, I know. Like, again, I'm aware that's a bit of functionality, that's a feature of CMake. I'm just not implementing it. Again, I just don't think it's worth the time. Day one, stream one, we set up a basic CMake file, and we've basically just been kind of hacking on that since, for better or worse. Right. So I guess if anyone's new here, hello, welcome, glad you're here. But look what we got. Yeah, I could do with getting better at CMake. Okay, so we have a pretty basic 3D world, and we have some barrels that move in interesting ways. The red one moves with the player, and the blue one moves opposite to the player. And the aim at the moment is to get them to their respective colored targets. And if you get them close enough, you progress to the next level, which is just this level. The issue, and as well as that, they only perform their action when you're looking at them, so you can kind of get interesting situations where some move and some don't, depending on when you're looking at them. The issue we've got at the moment is that they kind of clip through each other, so let me just shuffle up a bit of that. And we're trying to prevent this, because I think this makes it too easy. And I think it would be more interesting if we had either static objects or objects that couldn't clip through each other. many streams ago, we integrated the Jolt physics engine, and I'm kind of resurrecting that now, but just trying to use it for collision detection rather than a full rigid body simulation. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. I wouldn't I appreciate the offer. It's very unlikely I'll be integrating anything at this point. But I appreciate the offer, and if I get stuck, I'll reach out on the Discord or something. I just don't think it's worth there are more with my project manager hat on. There are more pressing things to be working on at the moment, I think. Okay. So, how do we implement this? What's this going to look like? So this needs to. I need to bring in all the Jolt misery, right? So let's go to physics system. You need one of these first, right? You have to have that. And it has to be the first include, and then include Jolt physics. I'm starting to get a bit of a feel for where the things are in the Jolt engine now. Transform shape. So, and I think we're going to want our very much untested physics utils. But then, where's my docs? I think we just need to start constructing this. And we take in a position, a rotation. I don't know what this body ID is. I suspect this is some ID. I mean, that's obviously I suspect we can make this up, because I think, if memory serves me correctly, in our simple collision detection, it does give us a body. Interesting. I thought it gave us a body ID. Not sure how this is gonna manifest itself. I'm sure we'll figure it out. What is body ID? Oh my goodness! It actually has the exact header file I want. I find that very hard to believe. I'm assuming it's some sort of alias for like an integer. Oh, it's class. Okay. We have an invalid one. And I can just construct from index and sequence number compile. Oh, geez. Yeah, so as long as I pass this assert, I can construct one, right? ID of a body. This is a way of reasoning about bodies in a multi-threaded simulation while avoiding race conditions. Again, this is really annoying because I really want to break this concept away. I want to just do collision detection and not worry about the simulation. So I don't know. I don't see what. Can I just give it an invalid body ID? Like, is it gonna? How wrong file? How much is it gonna complain if I just give it an invalid one? Does it check anywhere? Here you go. Helper function return the body ID of transform. If the transform shape is null, an invalid body will be returned. What's this? Optional body ID. Sounds like a null one to me. Okay, right. Let's make this a thing. So I think I can, well, actually for a start, I'm going to need transformed shape. Transform shape. I'm going to need to actually store one of these. Do I even need to store the shape and a transform? Or am I just going to construct? I might not even need these. The fun part is going to be updating the transform. I guess I'll just construct one of these each time I need it, and then optimize it away if I like cache it if I need to. Freedan, you should feel well. You should feel comfortable to interrupt me at any point. A large part of these streams is for me to to talk through my thought process and show people how I approach problems and stuff, and have a bit of a discourse around it. So I very much encourage you to stop. I mean, sometimes I miss the message or don't get to it straight away, and I apologize. But yeah, if I didn't want to be interrupted, I would not be doing it live. I mean, I kind of feel like, to Haran's point, what are the performance characteristics of your language? I feel like everything should be zero initialized by default, and then opt out with a unsafe or non-zero keyword. Okay, JPH transform shape. Oh, let's be explicit, otherwise we will get very confused. Transformed shape. Okay. And then combine these. Transformed shape. Okay. So this will take the shape native handle. Auto create transformed shape. So I need to do more logic than I can fit in this initialization line. So I'll hoist it out into a function. Const game, and then stick it in an anonymous namespace. JPH transform shape. Okay. So this will work. So then transformed shape. Create. Oh, get rid of this. I can't see what I'm doing. All right. I don't normally program with this larger font size as well, so I'm not blaming people here, but you know, less for my benefit. Okay, so that can go up here, and then we can shove this in here. This becomes game. This becomes that. Okay, and then we can do I might actually be able to just do it like this. Return shape native handle in position com, sure. So then we should be able to do game. Was it like to Jolt transform dot position, and then oh, do I have a quaternion converter already? Guess we'll find out. Game. So I have some helper methods here which convert between our engine, engine, game specific primitives and Jolt's primitives. Too jolly. And then after this, we want the shape. Oh, interesting. Okay, fine. I've gotten this wrong. So now we do shape native handle, and then we do that, and then we can leave that the same. So I think we can just default construct that. Oh, I don't expose these. How interesting. Oh no, I do. They're public. No, ignore me. Ignore me. I do. Oh, but they're not functions. That's why. Got a funny 5 minutes. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. We'll jolt that quat and get on with it. No, go on. Oh, I don't. I only go one way and not the other. To Jolt. So I want to do const turnion q and crap out a JPH. Quat arg? No. No. What? And then where was that? It was just before the transform one. Oh yeah, this horror here. I think this might change this. It's definitely not that efficient. Although it was fun to write. To Jolt const quaternion q to JPH quat and return. I can assume I can just do this, but I've made a lot of assumptions so far and not a lot of them have been correct. I was thinking about this, right? Am I being stupid? Is all this just the same as I mean, I don't know why it says there's no matching call. Oh no, if I'm being stupid, you should 100% tell me. Oh, you're right. Sorry. Actually, it's this, isn't it? I think yes, that's right. I think that's the answer because we ascertain that the Jolt matrices were indeed column major. And Haran's suggestion was just to memcopy it, which I shuddered at the thought. But I mean, bitcast. I mean, that's C++. That's C++. That's fine. That's just memcopy with extra steps. Illegal. I've got illegal code. It's true. I do have illegal code. Right. So that goes. Oh, wait a minute. I see what I've done. I think I need another there, and then that should all just collapse down to what I want. Okay. I think bitcast doesn't get optimized out. Or am I thinking of start lifetime ads? Am I thinking of start lifetime ads? Anyway. Yes, I must renew my coding license before the rozzers get me. It's not quite as trusting as like reinterpret cast because it does. They have to be trivially copyable and the same size, and it does start a new object because std memcopy is allowed to start the lifetime of a new object. So it's less. You will end up with a valid object within the C++ memory model. So it's kind of safer than, like, say for instance, reinterpret cast. Okay. So now I want to do this. So I want to do physics system. Okay. I want to bring this over, slide this in the anonymous namespace, which again, anonymous namespace, we were discussing this on Discord. Anonymous namespace allows me to restrict this symbol to this translation as well, whereas you can't do that with static. I have no idea what this body's going to be. What even is this? This is incredible. I really want to know more about the GCC bug workaround in your code. That's what. No, don't just take me to another instance of it. Tell me where this is. Who are you? Oh, for another day. Yeah, I've been royally clanged there. Okay, so I think a lot of this is now. I think this is largely the same, almost, right? We can go take this, stick this over here, slap a do in here, and then we do transformed shape, collide shape. where's the code hole? Right, transform shape. Oh, so much code. So much code. Collide shape. I give it another shape and the scale and the transform. Right, so do Jolt. Can I do shape, transform shape dot? Can I get the collision shape out of here? I bet you, oh, if you can't, that's a massive pain. I need this. I really need this. Let's just check the CP shape. I'll try to oh, I bet there's no like get shape. Let's get shape scale, which is not useful. Can you really not get the shape out of here? What absolute pain. Okay, this is so much harder than I thought it was going to be. Guess I'll keep a copy of you around. I bet I still need the transform as well after that. I bet. Then wire this up. Okay, and then this. Ooh, steady. So this becomes shape dot shape native handle. Okay. Yeah, we might need shape dot shape. We'll see how it gets on. Oh man, operator precedence, such a nightmare. Okay, so what was I doing after all this? I was trying to call. Trying to call. I was trying to call collide shapes. So I need the in shape scale, which is 1. The center of mass. Presumably this is of the other object. So I think in here I can do shape dot shape dot get world transform. Passing settings. Missing a header file. Physics system. Oh my goodness. I think it's this one? Question mark? Nailed it. So this whole method now can go away. This needs to include log. Okay. So So, what is this? What are these last arguments? Oh, this is the relative world thing, isn't it? Base offset, incorrect. Okay. I think I'm at best maybe a 3-star programmer. Definitely done 2 stars. 3, I think maybe. Okay. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. Hang on. Physics system. Physics system. Get rid of this. Okay, and then we can go to lower level CPP and get rid of this for now. Let's just check this still builds and runs, and then we will go and integrate this code into it. Hello, computer, hello. Everyone out there having a good time? So bright. That's right, it's fine. Okay, that still runs. And then I need to create the transformed object. So what have we got in the lower level? Okay, so we've got the shapes. Where do we get the we got the shapes from here. Okay, so let's do we need to convert these to physics transform shapes. So yeah, Fernand, I don't know the answer to your question, but if I know an excellent Discord where you might be able to find a better answer. Okay, so I want to convert the entities to the transformed entities, which means I need to get the transformations out. So I have the position. So I think this is range. I think we're gonna range it up. I think I want a const auto transformed entities equals shapes stirred range hang on. I think I want stirred views zip. Maybe in zip transform, right? Zip the shapes with the entities, and then I think this is how this works. And then I do const auto shape const auto entity return transformed shape all right, okay, bear with me stood address no shape, and then entity dot position entity like one want the scale, and then a default rotation because we don't support other rotations at the moment. I think, and then wait a minute, how many closing braces have I got? That there, semicolon. Close the lambda, close the zip transform, pipe to stood views, stood ranges to stood vector. Yeah, maybe. Well done, yeah. I might have the zip transform one. My intention is to build a game, like, irrespective of the quality, I want it to be a full self-contained game. So has some notion of like a game loop or levels or whatever, has menus, sound, if saved games or whatever, all packaged up and shipped on either itch.io or Steam or something like that. Like, but the goal is that every line of code, at least for the initial release, is written live. I don't do anything off stream. If I on the rare occasion I do experiment off stream, I always revert it. Everything will be written live. That's the plan. I want zip transform. So function and then ranges. Obviously, I guess that does actually make sense because you can zip multiple things. So I'll try and rearrange this now. I think I want to, like, I don't know, take those, stick those down there, get rid of this, stick one of those in. If this works first time, I'll be amazed. Yeah, it's kind of, the actual game is almost irrelevant. It's the friends we make along the way. No, it's an opportunity for me to talk C++ and do some problem solving and sort of build a community and have a bit of fun. This is my hobby away from making videos, which is already a hobby that feels, it's almost like a job. So yeah, it'll be naff, but it'll be our naff. Okay, so I think that gives me all the transform shapes. So then I think I can do, what's the best way of doing every single pairwise permutation? Is that a range? They have permutation, right? So ranges has permutations already, but I don't think it's what I want, because I don't think you can. It's in algorithms, isn't it? It's in algorithms. Algorithms library. Here we go. you got, it basically does this. It'll give you every permutation of that. It doesn't say give me like pairwise permutations unless I can use a projection. Around I could, yeah, that's something special that I might screen capture that and remind you of that at a future date. Can you do like pairwise permutations? Right, C++. Can I zip it with itself? Can I do? No, I can't zip it with itself. What I can do, maybe. Hang on. Right. I don't want to loop. Why would I want to loop? That's not what we're about. Can I do? Okay, because I'm kind of interested to see how gross the assembly is anyway. Hashing. Right, can I do hash include vector? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, chat, this is absurd. Oh, I don't. So I want every pairwise copy of that. I'm not even dignifying that with a response. Yes, I like the idea of compiling it with ranges and then just hoisting out the internals, which is almost a loop anyway, but I'd always rather use someone else's loop. I'm not going to use println, and I'll tell you for why in a second. What I want is I think I might quieten Nightbot down on symbols because a lot of people type code and it gets a little bit aggressive with it. I need to be able to generate I need to be able to generate a pair of 1, 2, 3, 4 of 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 2. Yeah, that is what I'm trying to do, isn't it? Am I overcomplicating this? I feel like this is why I would be terrible in an interview because I can't solve simple leak code problems. Is it just a double loop? I feel like there's a ranges solution to this though. Yes, that's it. UDML, hello. Because what I'm thinking of, maybe this is outrageous, but maybe I'm thinking of something like do while stood ranges next permutation v, although will that modify v in place? Maybe I don't like, maybe. I just, just annoys me when I can't think of a ranges solution to something. Like I feel like everything has a ranges solution somewhere. Somewhere in the C++ algorithm library, this exists. I'm convinced of it. I have reasonably convinced myself that I'm now going to waste time on this. Right, algorithms. Let's have a look. What we got? What we got to play with? Cartesian product. Now we're talking. Where's that? Where does that live when it's at home? Stood ranges views Cartesian product. Ho ho. Where's the example code? So this takes different ranges and produces the combinations. Do wonder. Okay, now. So what's the runes I need to draw in the sand for that? For const auto combo instead views car, however the hell you spell that, Cartesian product v with v, stood print ln combo. I think you can just slap a stood tuple into that. That's not a thing. I very rarely use C. I like to see my compiler is about as fast as God bolts. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. 23 introduced print stood format overloads for container types, I think. So maybe this was written before because this came in. Oh no, this is 20 exposition only. Bold claim. I don't know. Maybe they really want to use IOStream. So now I can range, then I can pipe that to stood views filter, right? Const auto e return stood get naught doesn't equal stood get naught of e doesn't get stood get 1 of e. The problem is that now it has duplicates. because if I compare the collision of 1 and 2, I then don't need to go and compare the collision of 2 and 1. I think I've played around with SFML before. I think Haran has much more sort of experience in probably this and the wider games industry. Well, definitely in the wider games industry than I do. I think it's probably kind of a good place to get started, as it's all C++, and I think it's reasonably modern and kind of, yeah, I would probably recommend it. Yeah, basically, that's what we're trying to do. I just want to see if it was possible. So someone was saying, and stood get naught is less than stood get 1 v. I suppose I wouldn't need this because that would then strictly be true anyway. Perfect. Okay, nailed it. We've ranged it, guys. We've ranged it, and that will work with pointers, which is fine because they are from the same contiguous array of memory. So it is specified to use the less than operator on them. I believe it is either undefined or unspecified to do relative comparison of pointers if they're from different allocations, but I could be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure I've used filter quite a bit. Nope, I've used it once, and only recently. Hold on. I feel like I've used it. I'm gonna have to look it up now. Yeah. Yes, I was right, which is nice, which is a rarity. At least according to someone on Stack Overflow, but I've definitely read this before. Comparing two unrelated pointers, i.e. pointers not pointing to the same memory or not pointing to different parts of the same array, can only be done with equality and inequality. All other comparisons are unspecified. Which means the program is well formed, you just... your vendor will pick something, but is I believe not obligated to tell you what it picked. This is fine because they're a vector, which is effectively an array. So I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Okay. So now we can do. So now that we've transformed all that, we can do basically this. And then it'd be stood e Ugh. Oh, is that going to be a double get? Because this is a tuple. So I think it's maybe a double loop would have been better. No, that's not right, is it? So hang on. Zip shapes will give me the vector of tuples of the transform shape to the entity. Oh no, wait a minute, what am I doing? No, I'm getting myself confused. This is zip transform, not zip, so it's fine. I've actually just got the transform shape out, so that's fine. So I should be able to just do, no. No, I can't do comparison because my transform shape. Yeah, but that doesn't really make any sense. I think, do I need to do this with indices instead? Yeah, I think you might be right. I think this needs to be stood ranges iota. Can I just give it v and it works it out, or do I need to do v dot size? Use. Then I guess this needs to be and then this will be oh no, wait a minute, it'll still give me a tuple, won't it? I'll do it twice. There we go. Whoa. Oh, yes, you're right. Sorry, it's very rare I use iota. I would definitely hoist. Yes, you're right. Good point. Thank you. I will probably hoist this out to a separate rate, just declare it once and pass it in. No. Right, okay, fine. Alright, and then Cartesian project, iota, right. Got type mismatch. Maybe UL? ULL? Isn't it now like a size T? Is it ST? Did they add a size T literal? It did. Nailed it. Nope. Okay, never mind. I'm sure they had a size T. Is it Z? I think it is. Z. Or Z, I guess, depending on where you're from. Using space the literals. Definitely Z. Agreed. Oh, whatever. Don't care. Oh, you need ZU. Okay. Okay, I do care. Okay. Whew. Okay. Right. What a pain. So now these gives me the indices into that, which is fine, and I can index it because I have a vector up here. So that is all hunky dory. Okay. Using space stood literals. Alright, okay. Got there in the end. Const auto index view equals stood ranges or views? Stood views iota 0ZU to I don't know, maybe that's just too much range. Maybe that's a range too far. And then in here I can do okay, and then and then that creates that creates that does this, that does that. I have no idea. Who are you? What? Who are you? What are you doing? Return that returns that returns the lambda, that returns the for loop, that enters into the for loop. Get the combo, const auto transform shape combo. Sorry. Const auto transform shape 1 equals transformed shapes to get naught combo. Oh, that just looks like perfectly normal C++ to me. The old stood get combo straight into a vector. Because I'm like, why the for loop now? Interesting. Because we're gonna have to mutate some state. Good point. We just loop through those again. There is no sound. That is going to be a whole. I fully expect that's going to be a massive chunk of streams just doing that. Yeah, stood regex, again, I'm sure Dascanti has more of the historical context, but I believe it is poorly spec'd and therefore cannot be implemented in a particularly efficient way. In the same way that stood unordered map can only be implemented with chaining for collision resolution, right? So there are limitations on certain optimizations that you could do. We'll be using flat map soon anyway. Okay, so now I just want to do transform shape 1 dot intersects transform shape 2. I just want to see if we get any logging. Okay, does this blend? Missing brace. Okay, I have. Stick some more braces there. It blendedn't. You're not wrong. CRTLS valid heap pointer block. Mid debug heap. Okay. Not what I was expecting. If I'm being totally honest, if I were a betting man, would have probably put some money on that not happening, and I would have lost. That is the wrong. Oops, spoiler alert. That's for a video. Recent. What are we in? Game in the old Z drive. Okay. Sure. Scan. Like, I just want you to run it. Don't try and build it. Just run it and tell me where it all goes bang. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Ugh. Ref target. I have. Interesting. Interesting. So it's this vector of transform shape when it goes out of scope here. So what the debugger is saying is that the crash happened on this line, okay? And if the crash happens on a closing brace, that normally indicates that it's the destructor of one of the local variables, because effectively this is you can kind of consider this to be the point that those happen, like your RAI primitive, or all the destructors for objects get put in here. So it seems to be from the destructor of this vector, the transform shape. So now, armed with that, let's see if we can not puzzle this out. I built my thing of here, and then when this transform shape gets destroyed, why is it use after free though? Oh, you know what? I reckon we might have been led up the garden path here. Let's have a think. Temporary data structure that contains a shape and transformation, right? Okay. You give it a pointer to a shape, but it does stick it in its reference counter. So it's then going to try and destroy the shape. Interesting. Right, let's run that again. Yeah, look, I can see here. I don't know if you can see, but it's the in my transform shape. I don't know why it hasn't got symbols for it. It's a little bit annoying, but it's the ref const release delete here. Yes, why is it? So I think what we can possibly do is set a break. Can I set a breakpoint in their code? That would be pretty sweet if I can do that. Okay, nice. And this comes from character. Okay, don't care about the character controller. Let's keep going. Here we go. Update here. How big is this transform shape? There's 4 objects in it. That makes sense. What's actually in here? Apologies if this is a little bit small. It's just I kind of need a lot of information on the screen at once. You might have to just squint a bit. They're all different shapes, which means in theory they should all be different transformed shapes. Oh, is it happening on the next iteration? Is this fine? No. Let's stop here. Right, let's start again. Right, it's going to be a lot of me kind of mumbling my thoughts. This is fine. So we can do what's this debugger shortcuts F10. So this is fine. 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 Interesting. Okay, so it's on the second tick round. Is that right? I forgot to hit the notify button I'm supposed to hit, so I forgot. So maybe AC went in there and hit it for me. No, AC, glad you're here. I always forget to press it when I start because I have a million other things going on. So that is my bad. I am kind of terrible at this. Like most things in life, I know kind of enough to muddle by, but not necessarily great at any of it. Okay, so the issue is that this, careful, this is destroying the object at the end. So my understanding that transform shape is owning the shape. Can we do something gross? Like... isn't it like... There's something you can do with the ref, isn't there? We saw this earlier. It's an internal thing though, isn't it? What have we got? What have we got? So what's the problem? The problem is that this constructs a transform shape, which then effectively takes ownership of the shape. It's not like a read-only view on it, which is incredibly annoying. The problem is I cannot do it. Transform shape doesn't give me that. Transform shape's a bit of a weird API now that I think about it. Bit of a strange API because it's like, hey, give me a pointer and I will take ownership of it. No, I don't think the const is going to make any difference because this is just part of the class, right? This is I start off the stream so strong. That's like I found the solution to guys. I found the solution to our problem. It's transform shape. We should just use this. I can't set the ref target. There's no API for me to get access. As far as I can tell, there's no way for me to get an M shape, this M shape out. Alright. I can manipulate it, but I can't get it in. What a weird API. Slightly more terrifying though is what is what's collide shape doing? I mean, we could just dispatch our own collider. There's an awful lot of arguments, but a lot of them are ones we already have, right? 2 shapes, pointers, right? 2 scales, 2 transforms, a bunch of stuff that we know is default, the settings, the collector. I'm thinking we go 1 level deeper and we just sack off transform shape and just go back to shape. Well, no, we want transform shape, I think, internally for our game to pair the transform object with the shape, but I don't think we need to use their transform shape. What's this do when it's at home? What's this do? Yeah, I just want, give me the, come on, where are you? Come on, give me the code. RG that. Collision dispatch. Right, okay, fine. We're getting there. going to need at least one more stream on this. Okay. S collide shape v shape. Collide two shapes and pass any collision to IO collector. This seems reasonable. Maybe this is what we wanted all along. I do like the old reverse collide shape. Let's try to get it working forward first. Okay, right. I am upset. Let's refactor again. Right, transform shape. Sack you off because you are a waste of everyone's time. Store instead what I had originally, which was transform and transform. Okay. Go back to transform shape. Sack all this off. Okay. Sack all that off. Do transform where's me assert 19g let's provide a shape. Okay, and then in the intersection right. Okay, now more new Jolt header, new Jolt header, collision dispatch. Okay. And then I feel like I actually probably wanted to keep some of that original code because I need some of this. Bring all this back here, come here, to here, slap that back in. Okay, right. Oh, I'm glad, Teddy, I'm glad you're here. Glad you find it inspiring. This is not a great example of inspirational code, I would say, at the moment, but I'm glad you found some value on it. Feel free to come along to the Discord and share what you've been working on and ask for help. We're pretty friendly. Okay, so now I need like 1,000 arguments, right? I need both the shape, right? So let's do JPH. Yeah, sometimes it's easier to keep on digging than to turn around and go back the way you came. Collide, is it collision dispatcher? Collision dispatch S collide shape versus shape. Blimey, that is all the arguments. Okay, so let's do shape native handle. And then we'll do shape dot shape native handle. And in scale 1, in scale 3, so this is both going to be const auto scale equals jph vec3 1.0 f 1.0. Because the scale of the shape should already be in world space, I think. So I think we can leave this as 1. And then I'm going to want... I wonder if that's why it separates it out. Maybe. Yes, about to say, assuming there's nothing hot in between. Okay, so const auto transform 1 equals 2 jolt shape transform 1 R2 steady, stay on target. Don't know what I've vimmed somewhere wrong, and now I'm absolutely know where I want to be. Well, oh, I don't want this at all. I got caps lock on. Oh, no wonder, like all my keystrokes suddenly stopped doing what I expected them to. Right, okay. This will be shape dot transform. Oh, bug. Okay. I mean, you know this is not going to work, right? I don't think I need a sub-shape ID creator 1 or 2. I mean, something I say quite a lot in life. Like, no one really needs a sub-shape ID creator 1 or 2. Sub-shape, because we go back to the transform shape, which drives this, and back up to the constructor. Oh my god, there's so much code to keep in your head in this. They just default construct it. So I guess I want const auto sub shape ID creator 1 equals jph subshape ID creator. I'm going to assume I want 2 separate ones. I don't know what the implication is if they are the same. And then settings and collector. Nailed it. Expected at least 10, have 9. What have I missed? What have I missed? Have I missed the scale twice? Yeah, I have. Yeah, we have. Okay. Yeah. My grasp of OpenGL is, like I said before, is okay. Like, I know enough to be dangerous. Okay. I just left that. Just left that half a. Oh, what is? Left the half half-formed mess of code in there. No, I've not really done any web GPU. Okay, right. This builds. There's a poll. I can feel it. I temperature check everyone's faith in me. Right. It builds. So lower level creates every single Pairwise thing and does an intersection test. Well, we're not really doing any OpenGL at the moment, so I'm not too fussed about any design limitations in that. I'm currently battling Jolt. Yes, so that is a good point. So the point, Deluso, I'm currently always returning false. What I want to check is whether these get hit, because then we will have to extract this information out and return that as a Boolean. But for now, I just care whether these are hits. So have we correctly wired everything up so that collisions are detected? The poll is about whether that works, not whether we successfully do anything with it. So yeah, I don't care about this at the moment. What I care is that this drives this, which is this, and then that these happen. Yeah, we want to drop a big log, basically. So this was last stream. Jolt comes with a broad phase, but it's only for the rigid body simulation, and I only want to do collision detection. I'm not actually simulating bodies at the moment. I'm literally moving stuff around manually, and then I just want to just check if they collide. That's it. We might have to undo all this and go back there eventually, but I thought this would be easy. I thought it'd be like, Jolt, we can just do collision detection. So we are, because the broad phase has some sort of internal representation of the scene, whereas we just have like objects at the moment. So you are correct, and we tried that and it didn't work, and so we ended up down this rabbit hole. Okay, so the question is this going to work, right? Will it work first time? And will it work means will we get these logs when things intersect? So let's, how do I? So name, will it log first time? Yes. No. And then I think I can do a poll. Start a poll. Right, put your bets in. How confident are you in my ability to wire all this up? No, there's no grey zone. There's no middling. There's no definite maybes. It's yes or no. It's binary. There's no third state in this. Okay, we got a 99% yes on Twitch, and then on YouTube we have a 60% yes. The ranges have nothing to do with it. The ranges makes the code work. I will allow a one retest if I've very obviously wired something in. No, sometimes I allow a retest if there's like a silly mistake. Okay, move this over a bit. Getting a lot of hits for nothing colliding, which is exciting. And not a lot of else. So the floor is not part of this. There's literally only 4 shapes, and it's the 4 you're looking at. The 4, not the floor. The 4 you're looking at. I was unsure of the hit API anyway, but I was expecting to at least see the collision one. just for the avoidance of doubt, because I don't really know what this add hit does. Is it wide open reverse by chance, so triggering on no hits? I don't see how that's possible, because you tell it the shapes that you want to intersect with. Okay, I'm gonna say that's a big fat no. Big fat no. Sorry, you're gonna gambled away all your internet points. Now, I mean, now we've got to figure out why, okay? Put this back in, because I don't really know what it's doing, but it could be useful. Hang on, what's this? Hang on, what do we get in? Reverses the hit results. Actually, they're the only two methods. Oh, I forgot it was templated on that. Where's the collide shape result? I just want to see what's returning. On the off chance it's returning something and I need to do like an additional check on it. Jolt, physics, collision, shape. Oh, we did all this yesterday. I can't remember where it is. Is it in? Where's the collide shape result? Here you go. Don't forward declare it. Urgh. There's collide point result. Collide shape result. Here we go. So you can construct it, call those two. Oh, these are all public. Interesting. Yes, that's what we're doing. We're faffing around with physics at the moment. I guess we can print out some of this and just see. I'd be interested to know the depth. Oh, okay. Okay. So something is happening. So do we get a result every time, even if they don't intersect? And it's down to us. Oh, maybe this was working, and I've I've conned people out of some internet points. I think let's take this back. Let's just do one intersection, okay? So this will be. Cricker's got so many points. We need to find some way, like a dev nulling some of them anyway. Let's just do one intersection, okay? So this will be probably be the red barrels, right? I think this is how this is going to work. So let's just do the first intersection, okay? And then just break. Remind me that I put that there. I'm like, oh, no, the other intersections work. I don't know what the number is the penetration depth, right? So it should be how far one has penetrated the other. Give me unreachable code. Give it a break. Get out of it. How's breaking out of my loop considered unexecutable code? Hey? You know what? If you want me to do it with ranges, fine. You know what? Fine. Ooh. Well, no, I'm not getting any logs. Oh, that was weird. Why did only when it started moving? It's fine when it's like moving. All right, but like just like shifting it across a little bit. Let's. I just want to just check I'm not being really stupid. Yeah, I'm sure there's other places. Okay. Just want just 2 barrels so I can see what they're doing. Okay, so let's just move that side. So it stopped updating, okay, and then when it gets a little bit closer, when they're actually intersecting, is there any way of testing? Of course, we don't know whether the transformed Jolt shapes line up to our expectations, right? We've just sort of munged in a bunch of transformation matrices and hope for the best. We don't actually know what they look like. Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to draw them. I mean, who knows? Who knows why 987? Could be anything. How do we draw them? We've got a physics debug renderer. How does this work? You give this to the problem is though you have to give this to the physics engine. All right. Debug renderer. And then when you update the physics engine, you call draw bodies. We haven't got rigid bodies, which is annoying. Can I physics system dot draw oh, do we think there might be, can we fudge this in the shape itself? So many shape H draw. Here we go. 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 Okay, I can draw using the debug renderer. Okay, and the center of mass transform and the in scale and the in color. Okay. Okay. This is fine. Because what I can do is... Oh, getting tired. At the end of the update, I can do ps dot debug renderer, right? Dot. That just returns the actual Jolt it returns a debug renderer. Which I think is fine because it's just the interface. Right, yeah. Okay, fine. So what I think I can do is do transform shape, include physics debug render, and do auto draw debug renderer void transform shape somewhere down here. Transform shape into that, stick that into there, and then I can do should this be part of no, it needs to be part of this one, doesn't it? Everything's fine. It's fine. Don't panic. Okay, so shape native handle dot draw debug renderer, and then how do I get out the transforms? I want to do to Jolt transform. This is nice because this I can check, like, you know, the scale's right, all this sort of stuff, because it takes the same arguments. So I've got a good feeling we're going to render something out. JPH color 1.0f 0.0f. What color is that? Oh, red and blue, purple. False and true, I guess. I want a wireframe. Can't be narrowed. Okay, fine. Oh, it's fine. It's hex. Okay, fine. OXFF, OX00, OXFF. Okay. We might need to get bang panic. Okay, right. Draw that. And now, in the Lua level, we can do for const auto e in transform shapes e dot. Oh, did I not make that const? That's silly me. Square const shape. Move that above my mug. E dot draw, and then into this I can do ps dot debug renderer. A horrible feeling that debug renderer is const. It is fine. Could const cast it. I could, but for this, I'm just going to drop the const. Okay, so does this still blend? Whilst it's doing that, I now need to munge this somewhat unceremoniously into game. And I can't remember how I did this. Because I need to append the debug lines, right? Oh, I mean, out of Lua level. What am I doing? What am I doing? What does the debug renderer give us? We yield out. To get the lines data. I cannot remember how I stuck this into the renderer. I think I just want something like auto lines constant span const line data, right? Include graphics line data, and then the level level return ps dot lines. Sorry, ps dot debug renderer dot lines. Okay, and then into game, I think I can disable my ones for the moment and just put in here level dot lines. See what that gives us. Wee. Not right. Not right. Kind of fun. How does... Also, purple is not a great color because the floor, so we'll pick a different one. Probably need to clear that. Blue level. Okay. And then let's go to our transform shape. Do white. Okay. So this is wrong, but I do wonder if this is when you get the see, interesting. So you do, I think that is successfully testing the intersection of those. Right, so yeah, I got the hits. I think it's just getting the hit on each tick. Okay, so it kind of works. Yeah, I think the takeaway is the detection works. This shape is fundamentally wrong. Something bitcast, maybe? I don't know, I think the transform's wrong, because why would... Both of these should just have a translation component to the transform, right? And yet they're orientated differently. So there's definitely something funny going on. This feels a lot like a problem for Sunday. Am I right? You reckon it could very well be the ranges. Let's just tidy up what we've got. So let's see. Add transform shape class, extend Jolt utils, like, what is, sure, okay. Move collision detection out of physics system. Check for collisions in lower level, and then this is sort of like, that's fine. Temp scene changes for stream 51. Stick it in the git hole. Right. Map 4 is column major. Quaker, I think you might post that in the last stream from the docs. I could be wrong, but someone definitely said I went and checked and it's column major. And to be fair, I just blindly believe them because I like to believe everyone is telling me the truth. Okay, fine. Heavy pada. Thank you very much. Wow. Wasn't that a fun and enjoyable experience at all? I still can't give away free memberships on YouTube anymore, which is a little bit sad. I can give myself a super chat, which is basically just me giving YouTube money because they take a cut. Can I do it on my phone? View my channel. What am I doing right now? Am I streaming? No, I cannot do it on my phone either. Okay. Never mind. Right, well, I think progress was made. I feel a little less stressed about, like, I feel like progress was made. I feel a little less stressed about trying to figure all this out. I think we're on the right track. Obviously, the broad phase narrow phase was wrong, and the correct answer was transform shape until that wasn't the right answer. Now the correct shape, now the correct option is to go find the manual dispatch collision method. And that's kind of not right because we're not doing the transformations correct. So still a lot to figure out. I think Sunday we'll figure out, we'll just come at it fresh, we'll figure out those transforms, and then we're done. Then we can start writing some more levels again. Thank you very much for coming along. I hope everyone had a great time. I'll hang around for a little bit on the Discord. Other than that, I will be editing I'm editing the next video now. Hopefully for the weekend, but we'll see. I make zero promises. Depends how much time I get. But yeah, thanks very much for coming along. I'm going to have a beer and relax a bit, and I will catch you all Sunday. See you anon.